sometimes we go around and think, oh, well, we can't watch the TV and we can't watch this and we can't watch that because we'll get these thoughts in our heads and all other kinds of things. But a lot of times that's where the messages are, especially if you know how to look at it. If you're looking at it from an objective standpoint, then yes, all that's true and you should cut it out and not let those things in your consciousness. But if you can look at it from a subjective point of view, it's really hysterical. So, for example, one of the things that the man-made institutions and authority, governments, all that kind of thing, love to tell the rest of us is it's for the greater good. You need to suffer and do this, and it's for the greater good. So, climate change is a good example. Um, Constantly saying that man is little and crawled out of the mud one day and look at what you're doing and you need to stop eating bacon for the greater good. You need to stop eating beef for the greater good because we can't get you to stop it the way we want you to stop it, which is just to stop it because cows fart too much, and that's what we believe. And we've decided that bacon is going to kill you, so you need to stop eating that. And that's all fine and dandy for them. That's what they believe. But oftentimes you discover this hystericalness in it because the underneath that's just the story they're telling you to try. They believe will get you to stop doing what they want you to do. They're arguing with you. So here's a great example from Hot Fuzz, the movie, of the greater good. Our good hero, Nicholas Angel, has decided that he knows why all these accidents slash murders have been happening in this little village town in England that he's been assigned to. And he thought it was for one reason, only to discover it was really for another. So let's take a look at that. It's hysterical. I hope you enjoyed this clip.
I see we have visitors.
Sergeant Nicholas Angel, Sanford Police Service.
My, he is tenacious, isn't he?
I'm arresting you under suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder.
Oh, come, Sergeant.
You should be ashamed. Calling yourself a community that cares.
Oh, but we do care, Nicholas.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
How can this be for the greater good?
The greater good. You see, as much as I enjoyed your wild theories, Sergeant, the truth is far less complex. Blower's fate was simply the result of his being an appalling actor.
Quite. You murdered him for that?
Well, he murdered Bill Shakespeare.
What?
Oh.
The Dramatic Society is an important feather in our cap.
You couldn't let Blower jeopardize that, not when we had two semi-professionals waiting in the wings.
Let's not forget that Greg was an extra in Straw Dogs, and Sherry portrayed a cadaver in Prime.
Yes, I know!
Martin was less concerned with the reputation of the village than he was with his sordid affair with Eve Draper.
And so Eve deserved to die too?
Oh, she did have a very annoying laugh.
Annoying. And George Merchant?
He had an awful house.
We begged him in vain to make his residence more in keeping with the village's rustic aesthetic.
Wait, and what about Tim Messenger? What was his crime?
Tim Messenger's tenure as editor of the Sanford Citizen has been unbearable.
Our once great paper had become riddled with tabloid journalism, not to mention persistent errors.
He listed her age as 55.
When actually I'm 53.
53.
What about Leslie Tiller, one of your own? Her horticultural expertise helped put Sanford on the map.
Oh, she was ever so good.
Cousin Leslie was a terrible shame. But it seems she was set on moving away.
We couldn't have her sharing her green fingers with anybody else. Not least those heathens at Buford Abbey.
If we can't have her, no one can.
How can this be for the greater good? The greater good. Shut it! These people died for no reason whatsoever!
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Hello, Nicholas. I was like you once. I believed in the immutable word of the law. That is, until the night Mrs. Butterman was taken from me. You see, no one loved Sanford more than her. She was head of the Women's Institute, chair of the Floral Committee. When they started the Village of the Year contest, she worked around the clock.
I've never seen such dedication. On the eve of the adjudicator's arrival, some travellers moved into Callahan Park. And before you could say gypsy scum, we were knee-deep in dog-muck thieving kids and crusty jugglers.
Crusty jugglers.
We lost the title, and Irene lost her mind. She drove her Datsun Cherry into Sanford Gorge. From that moment on, I swore that I would do her proud, and whatever the cost, we would make Sanford great again.
So this doesn't make any sense.
The adjudicators arrive tomorrow. We had to get everything ready.
Are you saying this is all about winning the Best Village Award?
This is the best village, Nicholas. You've seen the people. They're happy. Contented.
They're living in a dream world.
Sergeant Popwell thought much the same as you. I'm disappointed you can't see the bigger picture.
Well, I'm happy to disappoint you, sir. And I'm afraid you're going to have to come with me. You are all going to have to come with me.
No, Nicholas.
I'm afraid it is you who is going to have to come with us.
Now, everyone's here to play in your story, and that's what they were doing, playing their part in the story. And that particular story is not even Nicholas Angel's story, it's his partner. And in the end, you can see the law and how it works and how the bridge of incidents happened in this movie. So movies are important because they're telling the same story that's written over and over again, just in different ways. And it's the same thing with movies and television and everything else. The thing you have to be aware of is when you're watching something that, say, the objective world is all about, which is Me Too, for example. I mean, this is old as dirt. Being a victim and bully, master slave, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. And you are a slave until you break free and become the master of your world. In the objective world, it's you're a victim, and then you get pissed off and you stop being a victim, but then you become the bully that you despise. And then you get sick of that, and then you go back to being a victim again. And it goes back and forth until you get sick of it. And you say, I don't want to do this anymore. The moment you decide and tell yourself, I really don't know how I did this to myself, but I want this to stop, you are then led to the answer according to you and your beliefs, and that could be in entertainment. So, for example, Neville Goddard was deep into acting and dancing and the Bible. He was always into the Bible. He was a very good, excellent Bible scholar. So the things in the Bible are what came to him in that manner. He saw the baby, he heard the wind, he crawled out of his skull, he was born again. But it's different for each one of us. The parameters are the same. There's a baby, that kind of thing. But the way you see it is according to the belief system you have. So if you don't study the Bible and you're not into the Bible like that, but you're into Odin and Vikings, then you may see it according to the way the Vikings described it in their myths of Odin and his 12 sons. I'm into Doctor Who. I saw it in Doctor Who. I saw it all unfolding in Doctor Who. So everyone is different. Everyone will see these things as they come to these junctures in their lives. But in the meanwhile, it is good to remember that there's a good and a bad to everything and everyone. They're all there to present your story. So whatever you believe, they will present that side of themselves. They can do nothing more because they are merely actors in your play. That's how it is for all of us. So you're the star, and you're writing it, and this is a 3D virtual reality game going on. And everywhere you look, there's a choice. Are you going to believe in the good? Are you going to believe in the bad? Or are you going to believe, well, it just is? You know, it's lovely, it's life, it's wonderful. So, you know, a lot of people get upset. For example, a good thing to look at is as we grow and become one, we converge into nations. And just like a person likes space, everybody needs their own personal space, 3 feet around me. You get within 3 feet, now you're crowding me. Well, it's the same thing with nations. We have borders. This is what this nation believes. This is what we think. This is our culture. And that's all good. It's all wonderful. One of the great things about the melting pot of America is the belief we all believe is everyone gets to believe whatever they want to believe, as long as they don't hurt anyone else in that. And that is a beautiful thing. And people are willing to die so that another can believe whatever it is they choose to believe, their pursuit of happiness. If you're pursuing happiness, then it's your beliefs and no one else's. No one can tell you they're wrong or right. They're yours, and you decide those things. So one of the best things you can do is laugh at these silly things like the greater good, because there is no greater good than your greater good. You are the captain of your ship, the God of your world. You are the one that says, I am, and you are the only one that sees, hears, feels, tastes, smells in your world. No one else does. They can think they do, but they don't. Everyone else is you pushed out. We're all just one being. So if someone is showing you what you think is bad, well, that's you. And if someone is showing you good, then that's you too. So one of the best things you can do in life is to assume the good. Assume everyone is just like you. No one's better than you. No one's worse than you. Raise up those who act like they are less than you. And know that the ones who act like they're better than you aren't. That's just them, and you don't have any place for them in your story, and they fade away. I promise they do fade away. They just don't show up when you're around. That's how it works. So don't worry so much about others. Worry about yourself. Only your good's the greater good, and make it a good one, because after all, it is your world, and you are magnificent. So enjoy. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you for being you.